Alright peoples, we now have project number 2. This is a 2012 Suzuki DL650. I saw it advertised on Marketplace, looking exactly how it is now. It was at a motorcycle dealership and was described to having problems with the ignition. So I put a deposit on it straight away and said I'll go check it out, and I spent a good 20 minutes or so looking over it, and this is what you find. And I was like, well, that's definitely not something that could have happened by accident, but we've had some rodents have a bit of a chew through there, and we've got some lovely bits and pieces left over from down there. We've got a bit of a barbecue that happened in the wiring back there. So my first concern with checking it out was as if it had been laid over or crashed, which then makes it, if it's a repairable write-off or a statutory write-off, which then makes it a bit of a problem trying to get it re-registered and whatnot. So obviously it hadn't, like both the crash bars were perfect and nothing bad happening there. So knowing that the electrics chewed like that, got the battery out, I've stuck that on charge. I've ordered fuel pump, starter solenoid and ignition set up. Give it a try. Pretty handy with a multimeter and a soldering iron or soldering station, heat shrink. I've got a bit of a automotive wiring loom that I'm going to cut and add in a few pieces to extend it. Lucky that the wires are color coded, so it's not going to be hard at all to match them up. Probably sort that business out at the back there. First things first, give it a pressure wash, get out all the gunk and give it a good inspection. Look for known like visual faults and whatnot. But yeah, this is the condition. I got the bike in. I had to chase up the parts out of a garden shed in the suburbs. Yeah, so a bit of a sad story behind it. It appears to be like a deceased estate. Guy must have come down heavily with like medical condition, passed away. The bike sat undercover on the back patio or landing, sort of, yeah, in the weather. The rodents got to it. A friend or an associate decided to suggest he could help out and started taking it apart. Probably got well in over his head to find that some of the wiring was burnt out. I left it in this state, and then to finally sell it, they got it towed to a motorcycle shop, and they quoted a new wiring loom, ignition switch set up, fuel pump, and it was going to be non-feasible, uneconomic to repair. So I decided, yeah, well, it's at a bargain price. It's not going to go to the extent of what I did with the previous bike, the 89 KX250. This is going to like see if I can get it up to running standard. It came with a full factory Suzuki manual, so I'll be reading that, and it's got all the values and readouts. So sticking a multimeter on, check it for continuity. After the while, with the checks and balances. She hasn't been that sun damaged, like yeah, she's got very, very low kilometres on it. We've got a sticker down there that says next service at 12,000 kilometres. I think she's probably only done maybe up to 8,000 or 9,000 kilometres. So hopefully, there's been nothing wrong with the engine or mechanical. It's purely electrical. It's a fuel injected bike, so yeah, making sure that the lines are nice and clear. and they've got injector pulse and got the right pressure. So yeah, I've got a fuel pump, I've got a starter solenoid, and I've got ignition setup switch that I got quite cheap off of good old eBay. Get that set up and hopefully check the battery, see if it comes up good on charge. It had been replaced once before. It's a dry cell battery. So once all that's up and going, I'll go through all the checks, turn on the ignition, see if the fuel pump is operational, check all the switches and the panel, make sure everything's looking right up there, making sure there's no smoke coming out of the rear end of it, and yeah, give it a full check over and then give it a kick in the guts and see if she starts. But yeah, I've got all the panels and whatnot, so if it starts running, get it up and running, take it for a bit of a test ride, get it roadworthy, get it registered, kick around, and if it's not quite my thing to have an adventure bike, I'll pass it on. But yeah, this is the introduction to the 2012 Suzuki DL650A adventure bike. I'll let you know how I go. Cheers, guys. Alright, getting ready to patch in some wire, soldering station here. So this is the prep I've got there, and the rear, that's what would have caused the bike to come off the road. As soon as the power got to the parts where the rats are chewed, had a barbecue under the seat, and the wires there, all the power from the control, the switches and whatnot, going to there, and the battery, yeah, shorting the whole lot. So I'll repair those. Thank God for colour-coded wires. So I'll get that all sorted, and I'll show you the work. Patch up a loom there, bypass connectors. There's still some colours on the wiring, so I'll be able to make it out. So, but yeah, that's it. See you in a sec. All those leads, extended them, soldered into them, ran the colour codes back, eliminated some of the connectors. There was some bare wires there, but pretty much figured it out. Bypassed the connectors, got right up in there. So yeah, quite a few years of soldering and doing that sort of stuff, so came handy. Got the soldering station there, and I did 9 wires over this side and checked all the loom to make sure there isn't any other damage or breakage in the other cables. So that's it. So clean up the back end, put this back on, and then I've got another starter solenoid to go there. I've checked the ignition switch, so she is turning and doing its thing, so I'll leave that for the time being. If there is a problem, I've got the other ignition system there to do it, and I've got the fuel pump to go into the tank. So that's where I'm up to. Get the panel back on, put the starter solenoid on, the fuel pump in, clean out the old tank, some fresh fuel, put the battery in, and see what the controls are like, see if I can listen for any weird stuff, or if there's any smoke, or double check over, but pretty much almost there, so see you soon. Just a quick video on the fuel pump situation. I've got the old pump out here, and I've got the new pump ready to go in. Check out the old filter there. She's absolutely gummed up, and it's all yellowed from the old style fuel that's been in there. So swapping that out, putting that on, and get that sorted. Alright, see you soon. Okay, got the starter solenoid relay in there. It's grabbed a standard one. It wasn't quite exactly spec for the bike, but it looked the same. So the only difference was this band here was the opposite way around, as in the slots were vertical, not horizontal. And yeah, pretty much that went straight up. But anyway, I have gone checking, not looking for a fault, but I ended up finding a busted cable that had been chewed again by rats. So what I'm going to do is back the pins out and solder onto those and put them back in. Yeah, get that, and I've got another wire missing on there, so back the pin out, solder onto it and put it back into the connector. It's a good thing that I've got quite a few years experience working on vintage turntables and vintage hi-fi equipment, so this is quite easy for me to be able to back pins out, solder, and then get them back together again. Yeah, so it's quite fun. Anyway, it's a bit of an update. I've got the fuel pump back into the tank. Yeah, pretty much check it over once more after I finish this and look for any more sort of dodgy wires, and then yeah, put them all back together, put some fuel in it and give it a hit. Alright guys, see you soon. Alright, just a quick shot of the pins that I backed out and soldered onto. So yeah, that's it there. So I've already got two in there just to make sure that they're gonna go. Finished them off. So yeah, back the pin out, got on the connector there, so that goes up to the control unit up here on the left hand side. So what I did here is, since the cable was not so crash hot up the top there, I just cut out the bad bits so I could like get it into the connector there, and I'll push that through and I'll solder just a little small patch bit of wire in between that, heat shrink, and yeah, just because I could have ran like a whole length, but it wouldn't have gone into the connector and into the pin holder, so yeah, it would have been a bit of a pain in the bum. Also, yeah, just pen and paper, just mark out, so I knew what I was looking for. Fortunately, alright, moment of truth, got the tank back on, all connected up, all the front ends all hooked up, all those connections and whatnot. I just reinstalled the battery, and if we have a look here, oh, I had that in there. Alright, 2, 3. And we're sitting at, the connection is a bit dodgy, but yep, 13.5 volts, so she's holding charge. Don't know how many CCAs it's still got left in it, but put all the cables in, got all that, so grab it out. So let's go for the moment of truth. So if we turn him on, oh, beautiful. Hazards, we have control panel, we've got that. Any smoke or anything like that, can't see anything appearing. Yep, got hazards on, so something's not right there, but if I flick the switch, oh, that's high beam. Oh, yep, indicator's working. Cancel. Yep. That. Brilliant. Lights are on. Alright. So let's see if she's got the fuel pump. Just had the fuel there. We've had a bit of a red flash up on the dash there, so let's see how it goes. So, let's prime it again. Nope. Let's go back onto that. 2 flashes. red. She's on there. 2 flashes. Alright. So we've got everything else going. But magical start button, check the horn. Yep, horn works. Alright. So I've got nothing, and it says it's in neutral. So would it be the stand? Let's check that. Stand is down. No, got nothing there. Got the ABS light on, which I'm not sure. So if we that gearbox doesn't fit in. Got the stand down. Alright. So we've got no smoke. Got that. Stand down. Just check these wires here. Give them a bit of a wriggle. See if there's anything sorted down there. Push this up there. Take him off. Alright. Well, I'm happy with that for the day, and time to go to the internet, do some reading, some research, but we don't have any smoke. The retail light's working. Yep, got that. That's all good. Yeah, check the indicators. Yep, got you going. Do the other side. Yep. So all that wiring's good. Adjust. Yeah, that's how many kilometers she's got. 6,169 kilometers. So I'm going to do some research, some reading up, and figure out why I am not getting anything at all to crank it over. I think it was just something intermittent. The ABS light's got me thinking, but I'm happy for that for the day. So see you later. So was the clutch, all I did was held the starter button on, kept hitting the clutch, like flicking in and out. I could hear the relay solenoid down here going. So once that sorted out, I kept doing it with the clutch, and then she started cranking over, and bam, she's up and running. So unbelievable. I can't believe that. That's all it was. And everything else, like good compression, turned over. That's it. Smells a bit fluidy, like oily under here, but apart from that, yeah, I can't believe that. So there we go. We have a running 2012 Suzuki DL650. So done the rear wiring there, changed the fuel pump, put the wires up the front, but everything's there. So, and with those kilometres, so 6,669 kilometres. So I've got it running there, but yep, can't believe that. Unreal. Alright, well, I'll let you know how I go putting it back together and getting it roadworthy and registered. I've got it cleaned up a bit. I think I'll leave, like I'm not going to pretty it up. I think it's good for the history of the bike to put a bit of patina on it and what it's been through, but that's it. Everything's up and running. Unbelievable. Alright, see you later guys. Bye.